Welcome back, everybody. We're kicking off our weekend with the lovely Owen Morgan. You know Owen from his work on Cobra Kai on seasons 1, 2, and 3. He plays Bert, a very memorable character, which we all love. So welcome, Owen, to the program.
Thank you for having me on.
It's my pleasure. Listen, it's a great show. Obviously, my son just finished binging it. I asked him to take it easy and not to go, 4 or 5 episodes a day, but he just dove in and he went from 1 to 3 in basically like 2 or 3 days. So
it does that.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience. And then he started having nightmares and all sorts of fighting. His world kind of became Cobra Kai. I said, okay, slow down, but it's there is reality and there is the shows that we enjoy. You can't kind of continue living fully in them for an extended period of time. So Cobra Kai is your first show, or at least that's the first thing and the only thing that I see on IMDb. IMDb Pro doesn't necessarily have everything, but that's where people know you from. So let's back up, and for those who have not had a chance to watch any of your other interviews before, how did this whole thing start for you? How did you get Cobra Kai?
Well, it started because my family is largely involved in like martial arts and karate. And we had heard from somebody we knew that there was some kind of show out there that was looking for background actors, and it was based around karate. And there was rumors going around that it was based around Karate Kid. And we thought, well, we do karate, that'd be cool. So we signed up for that. And then I think maybe a couple weeks later, they asked me to come in. And then after maybe a few weeks of being on set for a while, they asked me to have an actual role, like audition for a cast role.
Yeah. So it initially started kind of as a background and then evolved from there?
Yes.
Very cool. Let's go back to the karate thing for a moment. You said your family is into it. Tell me more about your family and the involvement in martial arts, because there is a huge martial arts influence on my show. I've had martial artists, I've had actors who are martial artists. I have some background. So you mentioned martial arts. We're going to dive in.
Right. So my family runs their own karate studio. It's called All Star Karate. We've been running that for maybe 5 years now. That's been running pretty smoothly. So but even before then, our family's been taking karate I've been doing it for like 10 years now. We've been largely involved in the karate scene for a long time.
Very cool. And did you learn from your parents? Is it your dad or your mom, or who's teaching?
Well, originally I went to like a different karate school, and now we run our own. So it's kind of changed over the years.
Gotcha. And what belt are you at the moment?
I'm currently a black belt.
First dan, second dan?
Just first.
Listen, just first takes years to get to, so that's a very good accomplishment. Do you, again, in different styles, and this is completely off topic, but I love it nevertheless. So different styles have their different things. Eventually, kind of in some styles, you get the black belt with your name on it. So do you have the black belt with your name on it, or?
I do.
Okay, yeah, I remember when I got mine. It was the coolest thing ever.
It is really cool.
With my name in gold, I'm like, yeah, that's
right.
I still don't feel like I know anything, but I have this.
Yeah, it's like at least I can tell people I do.
Yeah, and which style of karate? Because there are many different styles.
It's like the American style.
Okay, got it. So does it involve kind of full contact? Does it involve punching to the face? What are some of the principles of it?
Well, it's kind of an all around kind of thing. I'm not sure exactly how like the exact style goes. I just kind of do what I get taught. We aim for all parts of the body, when usually torso up.
Got it. Again, there is Shotokan, there is Kempo, there is Kyokushin. There are all sorts of kind of different disciplines, and they all have their own aspects that they excel at. So just interesting kind of background. So Now, going to Cobra Kai and they even alluded to that point where they're calling it karate, but it's not necessarily exactly kind of
Yeah.
karate. Yeah, and in season three, they alluded to that fact because the man who taught Creed is Chris, excuse me, it was studying Tang Soo Do, which again, not karate. So we call it Karate Kid. I love it, but some of the movements is not necessarily karate specific.
Right.
Yeah. So did you have any of that? Where again, I know that I don't know if you had a chance to train with Simon Ray, who was one of the I know teachers that worked with Robbie and Miguel's character and some of the
Mm.
other.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I did not get. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. I don't think I did.
Yeah, so his background is taekwondo, hapkido, and a bunch of
Mhm.
other stuff. So, but it's a great martial arts show. So, long-winded question, getting to the point of as somebody who's in the karate and has been taking it for 10 years, when they ask you to do certain moves, was there ever a part of you that says, but that's not exactly okay? Never mind, I'll just do it.
Not usually. Usually they'll just like kind of call it something else, and I'll be like, oh, I'm not sure I know that, and then they show it to me. I'm like, oh, they actually mean this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But they never like told me to do a move a certain way that I didn't think was right.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I know they have really serious professionals who are, true martial artists who are on that show helping with the choreography and training. So I know that's not an issue. Just fun. Very, very cool. So martial arts led you into background that led you into continuing on. Now, your kind of storyline is associated with Nate, and the two of you kind of are that awesome duo. And now I have to think things through, but did Nate kind of start also in the background, or did they bring Nate to pair with you once they decided to give you kind of a more prominent role?
Yeah, Nate was basically. It's funny. He has a very very similar start as me.
Very
I
cool.
think the only difference between us is that he was taking Taekwondo instead
Yeah.
of karate. So he started off his background. He was there for a bit, and they asked him to audition for a role. He ended up getting it. It's basically the same story, just with a different martial art.
How cool is that? I mean,
It's really cool.
you're playing the foils to each other. You have karate, he has taekwondo. You're both kind of it's kind of art imitating life a bit. I know you guys are friends, but was there ever kind of sparring sessions outside of saying, all right, let's see who's actually better at this?
No, I don't believe we've done that yet. No,
Not
someday.
not Yeah, not saying that you should, but it's one of those things. I know my best friends and the things that we kind of play with. There would be sparring sessions just to find out
Mm.
who knows what. So just wondering. Very cool. So it's great in that they started to really evolve your character. And again, if you've been since season one, you're more and more prominent. Season three had some really great stuff with you in it. I know there are doubles used, stunt doubles used for some of the stuff. And is it because they're just not allowing you to do things that you can do, or is it kind of you're saying okay, yeah, I don't feel comfortable being thrown out of a window. Let's have
Oh
somebody else.
no, I would have taken that if they had let me. Yeah, no. Every time they pull in the stun double, it's because they don't want to risk me actually getting injured.
Okay. And are the stunt doubles, because again, you were in the background, so there was maybe a possibility of you doing some of the stunts. So were the stunt doubles also kind of guys that were doing some background and then they went more into stunts as opposed to developing kind of characters, or they were always on the stunt side?
I'm not sure about that. I think usually the stunt doubles were hired as stunt doubles,
Yeah. That was
just for that purpose.
very cool. And are you close with your stunt doubles? I know a lot of the actors I talk to that are in the action world are really close with their stunt doubles. They work with
Hmm.
them all the time. Have you become pretty close with yours?
Well, for me, I've generally it's weird because like every season they tend to switch out my background my stunt doubles, so I don't
Okay.
get to know them for very long. I only really get to have a few interactions with them.
Yeah.
Season one, I had like two different stunt doubles, so uh,
Well, yeah, there's again, you're getting taller, right? You're getting older.
Right.
So, that makes sense. They have to kind of match things up. Um, it's very, very cool. So what's again, uh, from being an actor on that show, I know you're a fan as well. I know that you're in certain certain scenes and certain episodes, and then the others you may not know what's going on. So you're kind of switching into your fan hat. But as an actor from within, what has been the most enjoyable part of being on the show?
Probably working with just all the people, the cast and the crew, because they're all so good at what they do, and they're all really nice about it. Uh, yeah, they're all really friendly. They create a very nice environment that doesn't make anything super stressful or anything like that. Nothing ever feels like super hard to do. Everyone's always, joking around with each other, and I'd say that that's probably the best part.
Very cool. And have your parents been able to be on set, or is it kind of strict? Let's separate those two, and you guys can be there.
Oh no. Yeah, no. They let my parents come on
That's very
to
cool.
set and watch.
Yeah. So, what do your parents think about this whole thing? I know it kind of blew up. It started on YouTube. It was fairly big, and then Netflix came, and then everything, global number one, everything changed. So, what have your parents kind of expressed any concerns as you were going through the show, or they're just all fans?
Yeah, no. Everyone I know has been super supportive of me the entire time.
Very cool. And that actually raises the question of, I had a couple on who's so lovely. I really enjoyed talking to her, and there's a lot of comments that are about her looks or about her weight or about who she's dating, and all of that stuff is ridiculous. But that's what she has to put up with. So from your side, did you have to, were you getting comments? Did you get any kind of anger on the social media side, or it's been pretty good?
Yeah, no, I don't get a whole lot of hate, or at least none that I know of.
Good.
Um,
Good. Yeah.
yeah, no, I haven't personally gotten any like attacks. So
Good. I hope that that continues because people, there are a lot of great people out there on the internet
right.
and people who are not so nice. So I'm happy that you didn't have that experience, and hopefully
Thank you.
it won't change. Do you read kind of comments? Do you dive into the rabbit hole and see what people say about the show?
From time to time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
just sometimes. Sometimes I'll feel like it. Sometimes I won't.
yeah. So do you let it get to you, or you kind of just develop a thick skin?
Yeah, no, I try to brush it off.
It's a good idea. And how does it work? Because again, you're in the age where you're going through school. So how does that part work? Is it, some days you're off when you're shooting, or do you have tutoring on set? What is that process like?
First couple of years, or was it just the first year? I don't remember. When I first started, basically, I was on set a lot, so
Mhm.
I was missing a good few days of school, and the school I was going to wasn't really a fan of the amount of days I was missing. Surprisingly, though, my grades were going up, so they didn't really have a reason to be, but they were still mad about it nonetheless. So we decided that the next year we would start doing online school, and that's
Nice.
basically what I've been doing the entire time.
And little did you know that online school would become,
Yeah, a
the
regular thing.
yeah.
Right.
So for you, that hopefully was an easier transition, not that
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah, no, everyone I knew was constantly complaining about how hard it was. And I was like, I've been dealing with this for like 2 years. Get over it.
Yeah, I'm the same way in a way because I was working remotely. Again, the acting does not pay the bills, so I have another
Right.
job, and I was working remotely for 2 or 3 years before. So for me, when everybody went remote, for me, I have everything set up. This is kind of the way I work, so it was not a change at all. I didn't have to shift anything around. The only change was that everybody else was home, so all the peace and quiet that I had went bye bye.
Right.
Because my wife was working in her office, my kids were going to school in their rooms, which are,
Exactly.
it was just, it was mayhem.
Yeah, it's
Um,
crazy.
so getting a kind of, again, it's a great start, right? You're starting your acting career with this huge show, which thankfully was not huge from the very beginning, so it gave you kind of a chance to progress and get used to it. But
Right.
did you have any acting experiences before this, or kind of martial arts led into it, and then they said, hey, you can act, so we're going to give you more stuff?
Yeah, basically, I had never done acting before. It wasn't even something I had considered,
Mhm.
like seriously as an actual career option.
Yeah.
So it was just something I got into because of martial arts, and then I guess they liked me, so they were just like, hey, he could be a cast member.
Yeah. And did you have any acting lessons, since that time,
Yes.
or okay? So what was that process like? Did you get an acting coach, or did you take some classes?
Yes, yes. So I have an acting coach who also teaches classes. I do
Yeah.
that like weekly. I've been doing that since basically after season one.
Yeah. And do you find again that it's helping you, and they're seeing, by they I'm talking about, the writers, the producers, they're seeing, okay, there is a lot of growth in terms of his acting ability, so let's give him more and more stuff. Are those
I
conversations
I
happening?
think so.
That's very cool and good for you, because again, it's the growth. It's going to help you either way, regardless of what you do after this. It'll open up more doors for you. So that's awesome. And how is training, again, in terms of your martial arts training? I know that there's choreography for the fights. I know that you're spending quite a bit of time on it. Obviously, the school fight at the end of season 2, which was heart-wrenching. There's the house fight in season 3 and some other fights. How is that? I guess two questions then. Are you all kind of training together? And then back to the first part of the question of, do you still do you still practice in your studio, kind of with your family, and then just in addition to that on set?
Right. So I do still kind of get into martial arts. It has decreased a little bit since I got black belt, but I still try to get it in when I'm at my studio. And when it comes to set, definitely some people they do training like off of set, like just in general, not even for specific fights. They just get trained by stunt coordinators and stuff. They have their own like little training area. I personally don't do that. They just teach me the fights when we do choreography.
Yeah. And have you noticed again, being a black belt, you obviously, before getting to a black belt, you had to do sparring. So did you find a transition from fighting, even though sparring is not, full on fighting, but did you find that, fighting versus screen fighting, and was it an easy transition for you, or did it take a little while?
Yeah, it's not super hard to transition from it. It's saying as when you're sparring, obviously you need to show a little bit of restraint.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah, just in both scenarios, need to. It's about showing restraint and not actually trying to hurt your opponent. So it's in fact basically the choreography is just sparring, but it's more planned out and there's no like armor or anything like that.
Yeah, and you have reaction shots, right? When you're sparring, you don't have to worry about, oh, I got hit, boom, right? So
Right.
in this, you have to. So how is that process like? Because I have not had a chance to do any action scenes in films. I look forward to that. But talking to actors, it's really that dance between you and your partner of knowing, because again, it's the right camera angles. Obviously, nobody's hitting you hard in the face,
Right.
but
Absolutely.
it's getting to that shot where it looks like you're getting hit, and then you're reacting like you're getting hit. So
Yes.
tell me about that part and how you guys work with it.
Yeah, so like I said, it is all about like you said, it's all about the camera angles.
Mhm.
I've had to do that multiple times throughout the show, where like even in season one, I had this moment where someone does a spinning swing kick to my face, and I have
Yeah,
to get hit and fall on the floor.
yeah,
Uh, Obviously, I wasn't actually getting hit,
right.
but I had to make it look convincing. It was surprisingly not as hard as I thought it would be. I expected it to be a lot harder. We only had to do that in a couple of takes. So
Nice. Yeah. Did you ever get hit? Because again, it's all kind of this game of inches. You have to get close enough without hitting. Did any accidents occur during any of the scenes?
Not for me personally, no.
Knock on wood. Okay, hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah, I hear it from the action actors all the time. Of sometimes you get hit. That's the way it is. So I'm glad that it didn't happen. Who's the being a martial artist yourself, and knowing that some in the cast had martial arts experience, some in the cast did not prior to the show. Who would you say right now at this point is probably the most advanced in actual knowledge of martial arts on the show?
In actual knowledge, I really couldn't say. Because obviously some of us have at least semi-prior backgrounds. Some of
Yeah.
us have at least like taken a few classes before, and then there's some of us who have basically never done it before and are just getting a lot of really good training from the stunt coordinators. So I'm really not sure.
Okay. Yeah. Some people were saying Tanner is definitely pretty good. Some people were saying Jacob is probably one of the better ones. So it's just
Definitely.
so who would you from the show, who would you not want to actually fight in real life?
Ugh. Probably either Jacob or Tanner.
Okay, got it. So it's
Because people are not kidding when they say that those guys are good. Like they're pretty good.
yeah, it's there, and I've seen Tanner, in other martial art films. That's where I kind of know him from. So I expected him to have this, but his form is really good. I like how he works. Very cool. So you were, a martial artist. Then you got on the show. Then you became an actor. What's next? Is acting now a career choice that you're thinking about pursuing, or kind of see what happens?
Yeah, so I'm that's basically been my goal since season one ended. I'm really trying to pursue the whole acting thing as a future career.
Nice. And have you had again? There's definitely has been time between seasons 2 and 3. So have you had a chance to again work with? I know you have management who are wonderful. Love you, Nikki. You're awesome. But have you had a chance to kind of get into other projects? Is there stuff on the horizon that is outside of the show that's coming up?
Right, yeah. So I have been working on that for a bit. I've received multiple opportunities. Some of them have been had to get canceled because of Cobra Kai. Unfortunately, I think the only noticeable thing, the only thing that people would really, yeah, I think the only thing people can see me on at the moment is I did a light background role in Stranger Things season 3.
Very
And I
cool.
had a moment where I got to do some featured background work where I had my own like little bit where I'm like right in front of the camera, very visible. But other than that, yeah, no, nothing right now.
Very cool. And again, you're shooting in Atlanta. Cobra Kai is shot in Atlanta. So Atlanta has a ton of stuff going on, including Stranger Things. So hopefully there are opportunities where people are like, okay, you have a few days off. Come over, we can do something.
Right.
Yeah, very, very nice. And I forgot to ask you, where do you live normally? Are you in Atlanta? Are you in LA? Where do you live?
Yeah, I live like right outside of Atlanta.
Oh, nice. So that it becomes even easier. That's very cool.
Right.
I have lots of family in Alpharetta, so again, I know the area a bit. Uh,
Yeah.
I like Atlanta. We were at some point we were planning on moving to Atlanta from Chicago, but that never materialized. But I still have a lot of fondness for the city.
Yeah, it's a nice area.
Very cool. So in terms of again, you have kind of your private life and you have your public life, and people know you as this character from Cobra Kai, and whatever you post on social media. Are there things that you would like for people to know that they don't know about you?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything like that specifically. I'm generally pretty open about myself.
Very cool. Well, listen, it's been such a pleasure having you on. It's a great start. It's interesting how life kind of puts us in the places where it wants us to go, and it seems like you found yours. So keeping my fingers crossed that it continues for you. That season 4, 5, and 6 we keep on evolving your character and see what happens.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, more Owen. And thanks to everybody for tuning in to another episode of The Love of Acting. We hope you like Cobra Kai as much as we do. Please go watch it if you haven't. It's right below this this video. Please follow Owen everywhere. We'll have the links, and we'll talk to you next time. Thank you.